In the early drafts of my novel, Oregonia and the Legend of the Demise, there wasn't a single mention of Eli's sister Lilith. That might seem unlikely on the surface, considering she is an integral part of Eli's backstory and underlining motivations, but it's true. The idea of this character just popped into my head one day while working on a third or fourth draft. Dead relatives seem to be a recurring trope in my book, so I was hesitant to implement her at first. Then, I began to realize how much this fleshed out Eli and the other seemingly random character traits and world building. Very little is known about Lilith Dawnwood, other than the fact that she is Eli's twin sister. She shared Eli's dream of exploring the realm and going on adventures, and she dies young. Implementing her in more obvious ways was difficult, but I had already written the subtle ways her death and life had affected characters and their actions and behaviors by complete happenstance. In this essay, I will explain the ways that her death connects seemingly random plot points and thereby creates a better, more connected story, and how it not only improves my book, but even fixes it. Part 1. Eli's sense of adventure. Eli has always loved exploring nature with his sister, climbing the towering trees, sneaking away to sift every nook and cranny of the Elder Woods. They talk for hours about traveling the realm of Oregonia and visiting its iconic landscapes and culturally diverse villages. They fantasized about going on quests and slaying monsters and protecting the realm and becoming legends. It was Lilith who instilled a deep love of Oregonia in him and his yearning for adventure. One faithful morning, however, that was all ripped away from them. Lilith and Eli ventured out too far from their village, and she was swooped up by a hawk right before his eyes. All he could do was watch in horror, yet he still blamed himself, convinced that if he had been more proactive, he would have been able to save her. It was this moment, her death, that strung together so many loose threads that I had laid out in my early drafts. Eli never lost that sense of adventure and his love for Oregonia and its inhabitants. In his mind, he'd have to adventure enough for 2 lifetimes to make up for Lilith's loss. All he needed was a call to action. Part 2. Eli's heroic nature. Eli had always envisioned grand heroic feats with his sister, protecting the realm and all he cared for. He continues to blame himself for his sister's loss, and the guilt causes him to take that heroic nature to heart. Some would say even to a fault. He is a very well-intentioned person, always desiring to help anyone in need with anything. But on a deeper, more subconscious level, he is incapable of standing by when someone is in danger, even at the cost of his own well-being. This small bit of backstory for Eli helps explain his tendency to quickly jump into action. His heroic tendency grew into genuine care for his community. When asked about why he trains so vigorously, he says, "To keep you safe, all of you, our home, our people, our way of life. I made a promise to never let my fears get in the way of protecting what matters." Part 3. Eli's love of Oregonia. You can certainly feel Eli's love for his home village of Cloverfield in the first few chapters of Oregonia. Whether it's through his deep connection with the land or his community, every opportunity he has, he'll explore or rest and soak up the sun. He's always there to help anyone who asks, no matter the task. And when he's not busy being lazy or helpful, he's honing his skills with blade and shield, preparing for the day he may have to defend his village or the realm itself. This love extends far beyond the borders of his village. Through making friends with Mies from all over the realm, Eli has formed a great admiration for the many cultures and customs that litter Oregonia. Eli wants to protect that more than anything, or change it for the better if need be. Part 4. Overprotective Dad. Eli's father has always been overprotective and reasonably fearful of the dangers that lurk beyond their borders. Although they live in the safety of Cloverfield, the grand trees' sprawling branches casting a protective cloak of gentle shadow, the outside world is not so forgiving. The harsh elements are unkind to even the strongest of woodland creatures, not to mention all the animals that hunt for small specimens such as Mies. It's no wonder traveling Oregonia is notoriously dangerous. Before, Posey's attitude came off as slightly overbearing and condescending in the face of Eli's apparent laziness, but with the additional backstory, Posey comes off as someone who has experienced the great dangers of the outside world and the tremendous loss that comes with them. It's no wonder then that Posey is stricter on Eli than the rest of their community. However, when his son proved himself against the darkness not seen since the fall of mankind, he had to reluctantly yet proudly accept the awesome responsibility that was placed on Eli. Eli and Posey would reunite in the capital city of Treedom sometime later after hearing the numerous tales about his son and his great feats. Tragedy soon struck as Posey lost his life defending the Sage of Cloverfield in the battle for Treedom. It was then that he finally accepted Eli as the hero he needed to be. With his last ounce of strength, Posey grabbed his son's arm and pleaded, "Don't ever lose yourself. For everyone's sake, keep being their hero. Be her hero." With this last stand, this last breath, he entrusted the future of Oregonia to his son along with Lilith's dream. Part 5. Fear of Birds. It's hinted at throughout the first third of the book that Eli is afraid of large birds, and later revealed to be the case, much to his friends' laughter. This is a very rational fear for me, especially those from Cloverfield who rarely encounter large birds. It's odd to some of Eli's new friends that he makes along his journey because large birds travel in and out of their villages frequently. They are a normal part of life for them. In the first draft of Oregonia, Eli's fear of birds was mostly a gag. The brave warrior who fights monsters and is immediately kind to all the forest creatures, including bears. Afraid of birds? I think I was trying to invoke a similar dynamic to the animal-loving Ace Ventura and his ironic fear and hatred for bats. But like all these other seemingly innocuous details, it all comes together naturally and fits Eli's character perfectly when we introduce the tragic death of his sister and the horrifying way she dies. It's instilled a deep fear of large birds. After everything he's been through, he still hesitates to ride on the back of a hawk to deliver an urgent message. It wasn't until his childhood friend Stephanie reached out her paw did he finally find the courage to step on and take flight. Part 6. Relating to others who have lost their sibling. Although the villages of Oregonia are relatively peaceful, Mother Nature is not nearly as nurturing or forgiving. Many Mies lose loved ones to Mother Nature's cruel embrace. The loss of other siblings is a common trope in my story, maybe a little overused on my part. However, it's a quick and effective way to engage the reader to relate to the character. Many of us have siblings or people we are close to and would be devastated by their loss. Eli rarely mentions his sister. To him, the wound is old but still deep. With the addition of this loss, there is a subtle understanding Eli shares with the other heroes of my story. He knows what it's like to lose someone who means everything to you. He can relate on an even deeper level with Stephanie, his childhood friend. Their reunion came on the heels of her greatest tragedy, the death of her sister Bethany. When it's revealed to Steph that Eli had also lost his sister, it brings their relationship and their entire journey into a whole new context. Not only did he carry that pain with him to the end, but he's been carrying that weight since they were children. He never could bring himself to talk about Lilith's death with Stephanie at the time. When Eli asked Stephanie about Lilith, she replied, "I knew. Your parents told me, but they said I should wait till you were ready before talking about it. I shouldn't have listened. I wish I had said something sooner. I wanted to help you so much." Little did she know she was exactly what Eli needed to find happiness once again. And not to mention the dynamic that Eli finds himself in between Mila and her older brother and their tumultuous family dynamics. I think that's a story for another time. Part 7. Struggle to connect. Eli is so authentic in his kindness and generosity that the idea of him struggling to connect with people seems strange until you pay attention to how reserved he can be. This certainly comes from my own awkward inability to connect with people. Like Eli, I myself have been pretty sheltered, choosing to engage with my hobbies and imagination rather than to make close connections. Not that I didn't want to, I just didn't know how. But in Eli's case, I think it also derives from his fear of losing those he cares about most. If he doesn't form too many close bonds, that leads to fewer opportunities to feel the pain of loss. I don't believe he does this intentionally, meaning I don't think he goes too far out of his way to connect with people. Usually, a single experience with someone is enough for Eli to form a mutual friendship. Conclusion. I always wrote Eli to be a textbook best boy. Kind, caring, courageous to a fault. In early drafts, there wasn't much depth to Eli beyond the many experiences he had through his epic journey. He was essentially a blank slate, but that one little heartbreaking detail pulls all these loose, unconnected threads together to make a more fleshed out character and, in turn, a more fulfilling tale of love and loss. Thank you for watching the first video of my brand new channel. You guys might know me from my gaming channel or Twitch or even my novel if you've been so lucky to have found it. I needed a change in my content creator career. I was just at times making videos to make videos and playing games to play games, and I want to start making content that means more to me. I want to start talking and writing about my book. I want to start writing about more deeper, important subjects, about my life, about things that I deeply care about. And I want to do deep dives into my favorite stories and video games. I hope you consider subscribing and joining me on this journey. This time around, I do have a Patreon, and this video will appear on that Patreon first. And all my videos going forward will appear on the Patreon before they will appear on YouTube. And of course, there will be all kinds of other content on the Patreon. I write these videos first, so you will get the written form of these videos on my Patreon before YouTube. You'll get access to my current novel, and you'll get access to the unreleased rough draft of my next novel. You will get updates on future writing projects, and any content I make for any of my channels, whether it's my gaming channel or my reaction channel, those will also appear on Patreon first. If you want to watch me work on my writing projects live, you can follow me on Twitch or the Radkeys Realm YouTube channel. There will be links in the description below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, subscribing to the channel, and I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Peace.